Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kevin's Ghost. It's Monday. It's the 24th of June 2024. It's a beautiful day down here on the south coast. On my way up to HMV to see what new releases have hit the shelves. It's a big release week this week. Going to go and grab a coffee as well. Don't care what the temperature is. Got to have a nice latte in the morning. I received a box from Imprint films, so there's going to be 4 titles in there. So there's going to be around 6 to show you at the end. So let's go to HMV, see what's out, and then I'll take you back here and show you exactly what I picked up. I'll see you all in a bit. No, I'm not having a coffee on the front line in Ukraine. I'm trying to have a relaxing coffee along Western Road in Brighton, but Brighton Council are once again digging up every street in the city looking for the lost treasure. Oh, they're so annoying. So as I head into HMV and around to the right of the doorway, you can see the t-shirts, and the t-shirt on display is for Demon Slayer 2. This is priced around the £25 mark. So in the new release section, we start with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, a supernatural comedy from this year, set 3 years after the last instalment. This has a lot of the original cast return to try and stop an evil entity, which is pretty much the storyline of every Ghostbusters film to date. This comes with a Blu-ray standalone edition priced at £14.99. There's also a double pack which includes the last movie, and this comes in at £17.99, which is a pretty good deal. Then there's the 4K release, same front cover image. These are all without slip covers, by the way. The 4K is priced at £24.99, and there's also a combo edition which has the last film in it, which is priced at £34.99, double the price of the Blu-ray counterpart. Next is Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. It's a fantasy action sci-fi movie from this year, which puts the two titans back on our screen, creating more destruction. This sees Dan Stevens join the cast as Trapper. He's a vet to the Titans. Just imagine that pet insurance. This comes as a Blu-ray priced at £14.99 and a 4K priced at £24.99. The cover images on both of the slips are different, which I don't particularly like either of. Next is The Bells Go Down, directed by Basil Dearden. I'll be talking about him later. This is a wartime film set in London following the fire brigade as they tackle the fires during the Blitz. This was made in 1943 and stars Tommy Trindon and James Mason. Expect to pay £14.99 for this one. Next is With Nail and I, the Arrow Limited Edition 4K release, which comes with a booklet and a poster. This is a very entertaining comedy drama from 1987, which stars Richard E. Grant, Paul McGann and Richard Griffiths. This is priced at £29.99. Next is My Home Hero. This is an animated drama which sees a father kill his daughter's abusive boyfriend, but that boyfriend happens to be the son of a Yakuza leader, and the killer now has to protect his entire family from a grieving father. It's got a runtime of 300 minutes and is priced at £44.99. Next is Close Your Eyes, a Spanish-Argentine drama from last year. It's about an actor who disappeared during the making of a movie some 20 years earlier, and the making of a new show which explores the events around his disappearance. This is priced at £14.99 and it carries a 12 certificate. Next is Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World for My Retirement, an animated fantasy comedy about a high school orphan girl with the ability to teleport between her world and a medieval world, something she discovers after being pushed up a cliff. This is priced at £32.99 and has 12 episodes. Desperately Seeking Susan next, a comedy drama from 1985 starring Madonna, Aidan Quinn, Rosanna Arquette, and blinking you'll miss him, Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. This is priced at £14.99 and carries a 15 certificate. Next is Lower Decks Season 4, animated Star Trek show following less impactful characters. There are 10 episodes to this season, which aired from September to November last year. Cover art is a nod to Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home, and the next season is set to be the final one. This is priced at £19.99. Next is the limited edition set of Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. This is a found footage horror film about a team of YouTubers who run a live stream as they visit an abandoned psychiatric hospital to explore the disappearance of 2 boys that recorded spooky goings on. This was actually filmed in an abandoned asylum. This is priced at £29.99. It's also a standard Blu-ray release, priced at £17.99. They carry a 15 certificate. Next is the limited edition release of Bandits of Orgo Solo, plus The Lost World from Radiance Films. Bandits is a 1960 Italian drama about a shepherd accused of a crime, which ends up leading him down a path of criminality. Lost Worlds is 10 short films by Vittorio De Seta. This is priced at £25.99. Next is Ventor Magica, an animated show which aired October 2007 to March 2008. Set in a magical world where the disappearance of the president of Magis of Astra, the magical dispatch service, leaves a less qualified son to fill in for him. This has got a runtime of 600 minutes and is priced at £49.99. Next is Kaiju Ultimate Survivor. This 650-minute animated show sees a man who owns a loan shark too much money and has the opportunity to clear his debt if he plays a deadly game on a gambling ship and survives the night. Priced at £39.99, it carries a 15 certificate. Jigsaw next, a murder mystery set right here in Brighton. I will be grabbing this and showing it in more detail the following week, along with some locations from the movie. This is from 1962 and priced at £14.99, carries a PG certificate. The Responder Season 2 next from Dazzler Media, a crime drama which aired in May this year. Stars Martin Freeman as Chris Carson, a police inspector who is demoted down to police officer because of his violent tendencies and possible corruption. It's got a final performance from Bernard Hill and is priced at £16.99. Next is Creation of the Gods. This is a Chinese epic fantasy and is the first of a planned trilogy, and this charts the political fallout of the last king of the Shang dynasty as he takes his throne. The sequel is due out this year and the conclusion 2025. It's got a runtime of 148 minutes and is priced at £15.99. Next is a music Blu-ray and it's Marillion with An Hour Before It's Dark. This came out on Friday and it's a live recording of the shows which played on the 17th, 18th and 19th of March last year. This was held in Port Zealand Central Parks in the Netherlands and it's cost £20.99. Seize Them from Entertainment Video. Next, a British comedy from this year set in the Dark Ages, which stars Amy Lou Wood as a defeated queen who is joined by a shit shoveler played by Nick Frost on her quest to recapture her throne. This is priced at £14.99. Team America World Police on 4K next, the 20th anniversary edition. This comes with a Blu-ray which holds the uncut version. This puppet comedy is definitely not for children. It's about a team of international counter-terrorists that cause more carnage than the terrorists themselves. Funny stuff. This carries an 18 certificate and is priced at £22.99. Blue Lock next, an animated comic book sports show from Crunchyroll. This is Season 1 Part 2. It's about a new recruit at a football club who puts everything into their experimental new training program. It's got a runtime of 300 minutes and is priced at £32.99 and it carries a 12 certificate. The Moon next, a South Korean survival drama from last year. After a second attempt of a lunar landing goes awry, a rescue mission is launched by the Naru Space Center to bring back Sung-woo, the last remaining astronaut alive on the mission. This is available as a standard Blu-ray priced at £17.99. It's also a 4K Steelbook available, and that is priced at £27.99. They carry a 12 certificate. Madman next on 4K. This is an Arrow limited edition which comes with a booklet and an alternate reversible cover image. This is a 1981 horror and is another summer camp slasher which has reached cult status. It's got a price tag of £21.99 and it carries an 18 certificate. Purple Rain next on 4K, a romantic rock musical drama starring and music from the artist formerly known as Prince. This is about a frontman called Kid and the band called The Revolution and his struggles he faces in and out of the music business. A must for Prince fans. I'm not one myself. This is priced at £19.99. Jet Li in Fist of Legends next from 88 Films. This is a Hong Kong martial arts film set in the Shanghai International Settlements in the year 1914. It's about a former student who investigates his master's death and to seek revenge. This 1994 film's got a runtime of 102 minutes, has a standard Blu-ray release priced at £16.99, plus a 4K edition priced at £29.99. The 4K includes the Blu-ray as well. Carries an 18 certificate. Music Lovers next on BFI, a Ken Russell directed biographical drama from 1971 starring Richard Chamberlain and Glenda Jackson. Told mainly in flashbacks, fantasy sequences and nightmares, this is almost void of dialogue. Andre Previn provides the musical score. This is priced at £16.99. Evil Dead Trap next, a Japanese supernatural slasher from 1988. This is about a TV host that is sent a snuff tape and stupidly she takes a film crew to investigate the location, only for most to become victims themselves. The sequel was released in February, oddly enough, but to be fair, this is a reissue of that limited edition. This is priced at £16.99. Sympathy for the Underdog next, a limited edition, limited to 3,000 copies. This is a 1971 Japanese crime drama about a Yakuza boss who is driven out of his area by a vicious rival gang. He sets up business elsewhere, but they plan to do the same thing again. This time he must face them head on. It's got a price tag of £17.99. Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's quite a bit to get through. I've got some movies sent over from Imprint Films in Australia for me to review, and I've got a couple of new releases as well. I did pick up some more titles, but I think this will be enough to get on with. Let's crack on. Okay, I'm going to start off with the Imprint titles, and the first one I'm going to show is The Man Who Haunted Himself. It's a British psychological thriller from 1970, directed by Basil Dearden, who actually passed away just 8 months later, age 60, in a road traffic accident on the M4. And spookily enough, our protagonist, Hal Pelham, played by Sir Roger Moore, and this is 3 years before he took over as Bond, starts the film by having a crash on the M4. Food for thought. Now in the film, Harold is very fastidious. He works as a partner at the marine tech company, and Harold is normally a very safe driver, but on this occasion it was as if he was in a trance. And after that terrible accident on the M4, and when in hospital about to have surgery, the operating surgeon notices that Harold has 2 separate heartbeats, and this is when things take a strange turn in the film. Harold's friends start showing up at his house saying that he's invited them over. Deals are met with his company saying at Harold's request. A young woman turns up saying that Harold is a lover, and this is all news to Harold and his wife Eve, who's being played by Hildegard Neal in her first film role. So it would seem as if Harold is starting to lose his mind, going mad, but that avenue is actually explored in the film, but the truth is more of a mystery. I won't say any more than that, but I will mention it also stars Anton Rogers. You may remember him from Freshfields, as well as Edward Chapman, and you'll probably know him more as Mr. Grimsdale opposite Norman Wisdom. Now this is set in London, and it's fascinating to see how void of traffic the streets were at the time. Picture quality on this is very good, colours are vibrant, and this has got a runtime of 1 hour 34 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slip box and the cover have a different image. It comes with a 16-page press booklet. The image from the slip box has been put onto the disc, and on the reverse of the cover there is a screenshot from the film. So that was The Man Who Haunted Himself, and also in this it includes in the extras the Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode, The Case of Mr. Pelham, which is from Series 1 episode 11, made some 15 years before this movie, where Mr. Pelham is played by Tom Ewell, who in real life, his mother Martine outlived her son. She lived to the ripe old age of 109. I kid you not, Tom lived to 85. And again, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. This also has several commentaries, interviews and documentaries. It's limited to 1,500 copies. Get it while you can. Next one to show you is Catacombs. This is a British supernatural horror from 1965, which is directed by Gordon Hessler, who went on to make Golden Voyage of Sinbad some 9 years later. And this stars Gary Merrill as Raymond Garth. He is a seemingly happily married man to Ellen, who is an attractive and devoted wife. Ellen is being played by Georgina Cookson. Now Raymond and Ellen at the start of the film are waiting the arrival of their niece Alice, who's been away for the past year in Paris studying, and when Alice arrives back in town, she's grown up to be this very nice looking young woman, and Raymond immediately starts lusting after her. She's half his age. Alice is played by Jane Merrow. Now Alice starts flirting back with Raymond, and soon they start an affair. Ellen's got some kind of ailment with her hip. She walks with a cane, and she takes this medication that makes her catatonic within seconds. And she's got this really strange procedure while she stares into her little mirror on the bed when she takes her pills. I need to get me some of those pills. A suspicious Ellen, after faking a pain attack and taking her meds, she catches Raymond and Alice in an embrace. But even after that, she still forgives her husband Raymond. But next day he drowns her in the sink and she's washing her hair. Lovely man. But that's just the start of it. There's a cover-up going on with a murder involving a hired actress, and despite being dead and buried in the potting shed, Ellen, it would seem, has come back from the dead to haunt Raymond and Alice. Lovely stuff. I won't say any more than that. This was a lot of fun to watch. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. Good character study in this. I doubt you're going to find this on any streaming site in the near future. Picture quality was as if it was made yesterday. It was crystal clear. This is also limited to 1,500 copies, so pick them up before they sell out, which they quite often do. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's take a look inside. As you can see, the picture on that slip box is different to the cover. That fantastic image from the slip box has been put onto the disc, and on the reverse of the cover there's a screenshot taken from the film. So that was Catacombs. The next two are in a pack together. The first one is a supernatural story, the other one is a murder mystery noir. I'll show you this case first and then I'll talk about them individually. So as you can see, you have the title there, The Uninvited and the Unseen. This is a very sturdy box. The image on the front there is a mixture of the two films. There's a screenshot there on the back of one of the movies. You've got the title on the side, the title on the side, title on the top, and some specs on the bottom. It comes with one of those lovely hinged lids, which I absolutely love. This is the sturdiest box on the market, these Imprint films that they put out. Now inside, this was on the back, but I've taken it off because I have watched these films. You get a little card telling you all the features, and I'm very happy to report that both films are in separate cases. So let's talk about these films. Okay, so the first one out of that box set is The Uninvited, a supernatural horror from 1944 directed by Lewis Allen. In actual fact, he directed the other film in the set as well. Now, this is set in Cornwall. It opens with a brother and sister who are on holiday from London. The brother is Rick, being played by Ray Milland, and he was in the Man with the X-Ray Eyes, where he played Dr. Xavier. And his sister in the film is Pamela, played by Ruth Hussey, who was in the Philadelphia Story some 4 years earlier. Anyway, they are walking along the cliff's edge. Their dog chases a squirrel into an empty house, which happens to be up for sale for a very low price. The price is actually too good to be true, which should have made alarm bells ring. But Pamela's heart is set on the house, and the seller of the house is Commander Beach, being played by Donald Crisp, who actually won the Academy Award for his role in How Green Was My Valley. Now, the commander warns the couple that the wind that blows in from the sea can play tricks with the mind in the house, and the pair move in despite objections from Stella, who is the commander's granddaughter. Stella is being played by Gail Russell. Now, she starred in A Night Has a Thousand Eyes, which I showed on the 20th of May. Look out for that one. Turns out that Stella's mother died from falling off the cliff nearby, and soon the siblings, they move in, and there's an uneasy feeling about the house. There's cold gushes of air on the stairs. There's a feeling of dread in the room at the top of the house, which is an artist's studio. The dog disappears without a trace. Nobody seems to care about that. And a woman starts sobbing in the middle of the night. I won't say any more, but this is a ghost story, first and foremost. Very good twist in it as well. Picture quality overall is very good. There are a few soft or even out of focus shots, but nothing to get in a twist about. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 39 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So that front cover image has been put onto the disc. And on the reverse of the cover, there is a screenshot from the film. So that was The Uninvited. This was a very successful movie at the time. It actually got the studio out of a hole. Well worth a watch. So the other film in the set is The Unseen, a noir murder mystery from 1945. And this sees Gail Russell team up with the director again. They did actually make another film between this and the other one called Our Hearts Were Young and Gay. So in this film, the film opens with an old woman witnessing the light on in the basement of an abandoned house. She makes a noise opening up a creaky gate and is promptly murdered. Curiosity killed the cat. The next day, Gail's character, Elizabeth Howard, she turns up to the house next door to take a job as a governess. Now, if you're not sure what a governess is, just think Mary Poppins. She's taking care of 2 children, a young boy and a young girl. Now, the girl is sweet, but the boy is immediately rude and disobedient to Elizabeth. And it's because he prefers the old governess. Now, the father of the 2 children is David Fielding, being played by Joel McCrea, and he's a little bit cold, a little bit distant at first, but he does eventually warm up to Elizabeth. We find out it's because he was a prime suspect in his wife's murder. Then we're introduced to other characters. Marion, being played by Isabel Elsom. Her character owns the abandoned house. She's planned to sell up. She becomes a victim. Chester, the maintenance man. Dr. Charles Evans, played by Herbert Marshall. He's a family friend. And the previous governess, Maxine, she turns up as well, played by Phyllis Brooks, and she's also killed as well. So it's a whodunit. And there are a few red herrings, a few subplots. Oh, there's a nice scene in this when the young boy gets a slap across the face. I really like that scene. Pitch quality on this overall was not great. There was a lot of damage to the film, plus there's a few sound issues, almost like bursts of feedback, but it's nothing to take you away from the film. It's still enjoyable. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 21 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the front cover image has been put onto the disc, and on the reverse of the cover is a screenshot from the film. So that was The Unseen. So a massive thank you to Imprint Films for sending these movies over for me to show on my channel. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we can continue this partnership. On to new releases. First one to show you is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, a supernatural comedy from this year. It's continuing the franchise, picking up 3 years after the last one finished off. The Spengler family have now relocated to New York City. They're joined by Phoebe's ex-teacher, who is their mum's new squeeze, Gary Gruberson, being played by Paul Rudd. Together they hunt ghosts, and they've all taken up residency in the old Ghostbusters HQ, which is now funded by the ex-Ghostbuster Winston Zeddemore, being played by Ernie Hudson. His assistant is Janine Melnitz, being played by Annie Potts, and the whole Ghostbusters team is under the watchful gaze of the latest mayor of New York City, who is being played by William Atherton, who is, if you remember, Walter Peck in the original film. Meanwhile, Dan Aykroyd's character, Ray Stantz, is running a YouTube channel where he shows possessed items. A man comes into his oddity store, sells him a brass orb, which is used to trap cursed souls. It's also revealed that Winston has a lab and he wants to study that orb, but they seem to have an effect on all the other spirits that are being housed there. Inside the orb is an extremely powerful and evil entity. I won't give any more away, but there's a lot more going on. It also has Bill Murray, aka Dr. Peter Venkman. He pops up a couple of times. Emily Allen Lind as Molly. She's a ghost that befriends Phoebe. Patton Oswalt, ancient language expert who's working in the New York Public Library, where the franchise all started from. There's a lot of nods to the first film in this one. I loved it. The only issue I have is a CGI villain. It's too much CGI. The effects weren't ropey, just too much CGI for me. You may feel differently. It's got a runtime 115 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So, Sony Pictures has chosen a different image to put onto the disc. Nice touch. So that was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Okay, next and last is Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. This is a sci-fi action fantasy from this year, directed by Adam Wingard. He also directed Godzilla vs. Kong some 3 years earlier, to which this is a sequel. This is the 38th Godzilla film. I'm going all the way back to Toho's first Godzilla film, 1954. Did you know Toho's founder was Ichizu Kobayashi, and he died aged 84 just 3 years after the first Godzilla film was made. This is also the 13th King Kong movie. Marion Cooper was the creative mind behind King Kong. And Toho Studios actually leased the rights to King Kong, made 2 films in the 60s, King Kong vs. Godzilla and King Kong Escapes. Anyway, I'm rambling. This picks up where the last film ended. King Kong's now in Hollow Earth looking for signs of his own kind. Godzilla's curled up asleep in the Colosseum like some oversized cat. And he powers up actually using the nuclear power station as fuel, but I won't say why. Meanwhile, a little deaf girl Jaya is having hallucinations, and with her mother, Dr. Andrews, being played by the lovely Rebecca Hall, they are joined by Trapper, played by Dan Stevens, and Bernie the Vlogger, being played by Brian Tyree Henry. They embark on a trip to intercept what they believe is a distress signal. I won't say any more, but there's a lot going on in this. More monkey business, more Titan business, and even throwing a giant moth as well. I did enjoy this film for the most part, but I wasn't impressed with the CGI on that small Kong monkey thingy-majig. I think they overstretched themselves a little bit too thin on that one. And Trapper was annoying as hell, a bit over the top for me, but overall it was fine. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's got a runtime of 115 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image, and there is a plain blue disc. So that was Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. I do have some more movies, but you know what? I think I've talked enough in this video. I'll save them for next week. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? Then do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.